Tom and Karen here from Scotland's Inner Hebrides, which are the collection of islands east of the Outer Hebrides and along the west coast of Scotland. They are shown here in dark blue. This is the island group we have been in since departing the Caledonian Canal, almost 2 weeks ago now. We start this episode with a quick visit to the Isle of Rum, one of the small isles.
All right, we're entering the harbor here at Rum. I think the actual harbor has a separate name, but it's the Island of Rum. We got an old ship heading out here. I was gonna say it's a schooner, but not quite. That's got an old square rig set up on there, and then there's an similar old ship in here too. Square rigger on its forward mast. So we're gonna hold here for a little bit and let this ferry get into port here, and we'll not get tangled up with them. Since we're not really familiar with how things work here, I'm sure they're going to come into the ferry dock right there. But we'll give them a little bit of time, and then we'll find a place to anchor after that.
Luckily, the skies cleared a bit after we got anchored, so off we set to explore. Time didn't allow us to take too long of a hike, so we settled on what is known as the Waterfall Walk, which starts near their community center and follows this lush creek at a gradual incline. It is green everywhere. Much of the last week has seen some amount of rainfall each day, and as we always say, this makes for beautiful landscapes and waterfalls. Here in Scotland is no different. And who knew there were so many shades of green? This walk leads out into the vast central valley that stretches way inland from the harbor. It is an easy walk, but we understand there are some hikes on Rum that are quite challenging. We hope to come back and take those one day.
Maybe this is the waterfall.
In town, we find this very cute store and are excited to enjoy a snack and a cold beer.
All right, we are beating our way up to windward here, crawling along. We've got a southerly wind today, and that's where we're trying to head to, down to Tobermory. We left Rum about an hour ago. You can kind of see it behind me there. And we're tacking around an island up here, Eigg Island, and then around Muck. And we'll eventually get a little bit more protection as we get close to Tobermory. But a little bit of rough going. We knew there was some adverse weather for today, higher winds and rain, and an adverse wind direction. trying to go south when there's a south wind, and last week or when we were trying to come up here, we were fighting north winds to try to get up, tacking our way. So we've been doing a lot of tacking in the last week or so. And right now we've got a reef in the jib. You see the island of Rum over here. It's quite mountainous. You're not really seeing all of it because of the cloud cover. But it's a good island. Lots of good hiking. We did a nice sort of valley hike yesterday, and it was warm. I got down to a single shirt. But today is not quite as pleasant. I'm kind of looking forward to this kind of day being over with, frankly. We're probably going to get bigger seas to sail up windward through, which is always bumpy and uncomfortable. And when you're close hauled like this, tacking up, it's just hard to get around the boat, and going down below, it's a bit of a challenge, but it's the best we can do with the conditions. So yeah, we've got one reef in. It was peaking at about 19, 20 knots of true wind. Now it's down to 14, and we will be at it here for most of the day. Maybe get in mid-afternoon, something like that. So this is the island of Eigg. There, quite a mountainous island, not quite as mountainous as Rum. And then in the distance there is the island of Muck. Pretty hard to see right now, given the cloud cover, but a nice little island as well. Down in the distance behind us is Skye, way down there in the clouds. So grinding it out. Hopefully we'll get there without a lot of higher winds. That's my main worry. All right, how's the sailing today?
It's wet and willy. My glasses are all speckled with rain, and my hair is all crazy. Seas aren't too big right now because we're in between two islands. There's Muck over here and Eigg over here. And we just turned our foghorn on because we fixed it, for one, which is great. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
And two is we can hardly see anything, and so we wanted to test our foghorn and its patterns.
Yeah.
So it should be coming up here pretty soon.
Another 40 seconds.
Another 40 seconds.
Or less, maybe. We're sailing pretty good along here. The wind's a little lighter at the moment, but Karen's been doing a good job. This is tough sailing, doing close hauled sailing, but we've got it set on a wind angle.
All right.
Okay.
So that is the pattern for sailing. Underway with sail power.
Yep.
So yeah, so we're gonna.
One long, two short. Scares the hell out of all the birds.
Yeah. All right, so just maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 more horn cycles and then we'll tack.
Okay. All right. Measured in horn units.
Measure in horn units.
So newly repaired foghorn there. It wasn't working at the beginning of the season, and we had a wiring issue. The wire connections were corroded. So I fixed that a week or so back, and because we need a foghorn for the arc, but also just for general navigation. So we're super happy that it's working again, because there's not. We tried to find one in a store, and I found one that was sort of like a car horn, a little small one, but it wasn't really waterproof either. So we're gonna have to ship one from the States, bring one back with us. So I was happy to have reused what we had rather than throwing away something that was otherwise pretty good, other than a wiring issue.
Right, the town of Tobermory. We're heading to a 9 p.m. dinner reservation. The town is so cute. It's so calm. We were in 20 knots of wind most of the day, beating upwind to get here from the Isle of Rum. And now we're psyched. We're in a cute little anchorage over at the other end of here. There's no room at the inn. And heading off to dinner.
Alright, it's the evening in Tobermory. It's pretty quiet here. We got a ferry that's resting for the night. And we are anchored way down over here. A little bit of a dinghy ride to get into Tobermory Harbor. You can see that it's a very popular place. There's tons of sailboats on moorings. And then they have a marina here. It's kind of a mixture of a marina and a commercial area. They've got, those are fish farm workboats, support boats with their cranes. And then over here, you got the lovely waterfront area with this sort of very, I guess I could say, famous waterfront with the pastel colors that Tobermory is famous for. A couple more down there as well. So beautiful evening here, almost sunset, and just very, very peaceful.
Many towns throughout Scotland have live evening entertainment, and when we find it, we always take time to enjoy it.
Out of the store behind me called Brown's Merchants. They sell hardware, which is exciting, and they also sell whiskey. And I just heard the person at the till saying, yes, we've been selling whiskey and hardware since 1870. So it's not a new thing that they combine the two. I guess you should expect this in Scotland, but it was just hilarious. They also have other random things like toys and pet stuff, and dogs were coming in and out of the store, so very hilarious. Brown's Merchants in Tobermory.
Of course, when in Scotland, you have to try the Scotch. This will be our third Scotch distillery tour and/or tasting, and there's more to come.
And then we fill them up and into the washbacks. The washbacks we fill up to 30,000 litres, and then we add our powdered yeast. The yeast reacts with the wort, it reacts with the sugars, and that is what's making our alcohol. This process takes 56 hours to a maximum of 120. We're left with wash, which is our 7 to 10% alcohol, a beer level alcohol. We're left with a lot of heat, and of course our carbon dioxide. These are from 2021, and they came through the roof. Now, we're owned by CBH, Cape Vin Holdings. When these first got replaced, it's over 3 years and 1 day, because we have leap years. And when the whiskey is finally old enough to be put into a bottle, it has to be over 40%. Otherwise, I don't know about you guys, it's not strong enough for me. This one here, well, all of these are the types of casks that we'll use, but this one here is our sherry butt. It holds 500 litres. This one of our Tobermory new experience, and we will weave it in with our gin, just to make it, you know, just part of Tobermory distillery. We do 20% of the year during our Tobermory, our unpeated whiskies.
So this is a waterfall just above where we're anchored. We are anchored out down the little bay down there. So quite a bit of nice little white noise for the anchorage. You hear the rustling waters of this river and waterfall. This was used as a freshwater source for ships many years ago, including up to about World War II, when the Royal Navy would come into the harbor in Tobermory and top up their ships with fresh water, or slightly off clear water. This looks like a little bit of tinge of red in it, or brown from the soil, but better source of water than the seawater. See us out there in the harbor, bobbing away on the mooring. So they might have used this for freshwater supply as well.
Thanks for watching. Join us next time as we welcome friends on board.
Ahoy! You have your private cruise?
Get to see part of the final leg of the Clipper Around the World race, and then head further south in preparation of crossing over to Ireland.